Houston Newsmakers Extra. I'm talking with former City Council member Gordon Quan of the Quan Law Group. Immigration is their specialty. And Gordon, we were talking earlier about immigration in this country and what a mess it is and how difficult it is to fix it. The visibility, the visuals of what we see make it that much more difficult, does it not? We see the crowds along the border. We see people talking about people coming in with COVID, that sort of thing. How do you make immigration seem like something that is a noble thing to do and something we should do when we have those kind of images?
You know, I think you talk about the fact that catchphrases really work well in a political context. There are no easy solutions. It takes time to put in place a system that can be really responsive. Let me give you an example. In Houston, we've had 9 immigration judges. Because of the overflow of cases, we now have 33 judges. We had 1 court before, now we have 3 courts. But getting people trained, getting the judges in place, that takes time. We have a backlog here in our city of about 80,000 cases. Nationally, we have a backlog of 1.2 million cases. It takes time, and especially with COVID now, to get the courts open. They were closed from March of 2020 until July of 2021. So no cases were being heard. So that's the enormity of the problem, and trying to address it. There's no 1 second panacea on this. Right. You have to put structure in place to address the problems that we have. And asking for patience from the public is difficult.
Yeah, it is, because when you have people who are, quote, released into the country with the, quote, agreement that they're going to appear before a judge, that process can take how long?
Well, you know, Khambrel, the records show that over 80% of the people do, in fact, appear before the judge and do what they're told to do. Now, how soon you can have a hearing has been the issue. And so there are cases that have been going on for 8, 9, 10 years. Right now, our cases are up to 2023, so 2 or 3 years at this time for most cases because of the new judges being put in place. So again, nothing happens overnight, but I think the administration is beginning to put the resources in place to begin to address the issue.
You can understand, even as you're an advocate of immigration, but you can understand the angst of people who hear of this kind of backlog and this many people trying to come into the country for their security and their communities. They're concerned about people coming in from other countries who don't really know this culture, and in big numbers, while they wait for a process that may or may not send them back to their other country.
You know, Khambrel, one of the ironies, I think, of America is that, you know, we all came from someplace. And at one time, we were the strangers. We were the new people coming, and they looked at with suspicion. It's the same over the years. And the fact is, if you go around Houston, you'll see help wanted signs throughout the city. There are articles in the Chronicle, in the news. We don't have enough workers. We actually need these people, but integrating them into a system takes time as well. And so that's why I think we need immigration reform that begins to address our labor market needs and the desire of these individuals to come with their skills. This has been the history of this country, bringing in fresh blood with new ideas, with energy. Every day, 10,000 people turn 65. More and more people are retiring. Our population is aging. We actually need these people. But how do we not demonize these individuals and look to the positive that they bring to this country?
Well, we'll leave it there. Gordon Quan, thank you for your time. Appreciate your insight on this challenge that we have. And it's a problem, certainly, we need a big kumbaya moment. We can sing some verses together, make it happen. Gordon Quan, thank you so much. This is Houston Newsmakers Extra. Please share it with everybody you know.
My pleasure.